This meeting
Well,
is being recorded.
welcome to the West Indian Women Network. I am Priscilla Ramcharan here in Pennsylvania, and I have an intelligent, creative, phenomenal woman here to celebrate Women's History Month, History in the Making, March 1st. Please welcome Miss Andrea Echols.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, Priscilla. You are just so sweet. Thank you.
You are
Glad to be
so welcome. Absolutely. So tell us about you and your work.
okay. So, as you heard, my name is Andrea M. Echols. I am a Barbadian-born author who resides in the United States. I migrated here many years ago. Let's just
Wink.
put it that way. And I obtained my bachelor's of science in elementary education. I've been a child educator for over 12 years. I tutored, taught the little ones, and I taught elementary. And I enjoy teaching. I enjoy teaching to read. I enjoy writing and dabbling in all types of different things with writing. When I was a young girl in Barbados, I definitely did a lot of poems. I wrote so many poems. Now my mom will tell me, "Oh, I found one of your poetry books." And I'm like,
Oh.
"Oh
Ooh.
dear, what did that have?" So I definitely loved reading and I loved writing. And I think that's where I got my little hitch from with starting to write my own books, which started within the pandemic. Midst of
Mhm.
the pandemic, I started writing my books.
That is awesome. What a great introduction. And you and I are super aligned. We're both educators, authors, moms, you name it. We've dabbled, right? And we
Yes,
love playing with our words. And that's why I love being connected with you.
thank you.
You're welcome. So I noticed you have a snazzy shirt on. Can you tell us about
Yeah.
that?
Oh, that's a gift from my husband for my first book. Every time I launch a book, he would he would go out and get me a shirt or a little present. So that's
Aw,
my little present for my first book, Louisa Teaches Mike How to Save, which
nice.
came out
Mhm.
In April of 21. This was the first book motivated and inspired from pretty much the desire of teaching my children how to save. And then I was teaching teens on a platform, a virtual platform as well, how to save their money starting from now, the present, not only for things that they want, but for the future and to empower them as well. So this came out of that. And Louisa teaches Mike how to save. Louisa, a name from my mom's middle name, and Mike
Mm.
the passing of my bonus dad. His name was Mike, so that's what inspired the
Condolences.
name. Thank you. And the book motivates children how to save, start saving from young.
And you said what inspired you to write this book?
Both teaching the desire of teaching my children how to save and teaching teens in general how to save from now and to buy their own things and to empower them and give them that independence that they need for the future. So that definitely brought me on to writing this book that will hopefully motivate young ones to save not only the piggy bank stage but other investment pieces that they can go to, get mommy to take them to the bank, get mommy to help them to invest in the CD or so forth. So yeah, definitely an
I
inspiration
love
for
it.
the younger ones.
I think it's so important, especially nowadays. There's so many options. There's online income. There's, you know, uh,
The stock market.
allowances. Yeah,
Yeah,
things like that. And they, of course, want to buy things. Why
yeah.
not? So having that guidance to understand the value of how to spend your money, how to budget, how to save at a young age, I think that is awesome.
Thank you. Definitely, definitely. You're
You're
absolutely
welcome.
correct.
So tell me a little bit about your writing process as you work through your first book.
Well, that was such an inspiration. It came to me like that. I probably wrote
Mm,
the book within 3 days. So it wasn't really a process like I normally would brainstorm and then you put your pieces together and you
yeah.
just do it the old fashioned way with a pen and paper and then take it to the drawing board on the computer. And then you look for your illustrators while you're doing that or your editor, or if you're not your own editor, like I edit my own children's books. But
Hmm.
yeah, usually that's the case. But in this case, with these two books, it pretty much came to me like if it was just meant for me to write these books. It came to
Yeah.
me and I just wrote them and edited them myself. And then I looked for my illustrator on Fiverr,
Uh-huh.
and we went from there. She was both my illustrator and my formatter. And we went from there and uploaded it through KDP Amazon.
I love Katy
And
Perry,
it
as
took
you
off.
know. That is
As we know,
wonderful.
as
Hmm.
authors, we know that that's just the beginning. It's the marketing that, really is the hard part. So we have to become, if we're self-publishers ourselves, we have to definitely get out there, even before the book is on the shelf. Get out there and market your book, whether it's on platforms or word of mouth. You have to really indulge into the marketing. If not, your book is on standstill. Get
Right, right.
into book fairs.
I love how you
Yeah,
said the story just flowed to you and through you. That is the
true.
most
Yes,
beautiful experience when
yes,
you are writing and there's nothing going on up here. It's just straight out.
definitely, definitely.
Then you have the ones that you need to brainstorm and, like you said, outline and work through. And sometimes I just put that aside for a couple weeks and then come back later and say, all right, let's see, where did I leave off? And you're
Yes.
so super duper right about the marketing. And I think that's one of my weaknesses. I kind of expect the universe to put my books in the faces of anyone who might find value. So thank you for sharing that.
Oh, no
And
problem.
oh,
I
and you
like
have
to
some
see.
other titles. Yes, you do. You share with me all the time. We are sharers.
Yeah.
But you have a recent title, Your Blended Family. Do you have that
Yes.
one? Hmm.
Yes, my blended multicultural families. And this one was more inspired about with my blended families. I love to show people how unique these beautiful blends can be.
Yeah.
But based on my own personal story, I grew up with blended families as well. So in raising my children, it was blended. At the beginning, it was blended because my dad is from Barbados and my mom is from St. Vincent. So that was in a blend of itself.
Yes.
And then I moved here to the US and my dad had remarried. He married another Caribbean lady from Guyana.
Uh,
So that took a process and then it went right into my own family. My husband happens to be African American and I'm Caribbean. And then my children were born here and our bonus came in from their heritage and culture came from Africa and Spain. So we're all in a blended, beautiful mix, and all these flavors put together culturally and other are all so beautiful to share with the world, but also to let people know that, there are others like myself in these blends. And I would love to tell my story and theirs.
I love how you encapsulated it into a book. It's so precious, so momentous,
Thank
something that
you.
your children can have and share with their
Yes,
children. And it can be a
definitely.
part of the family, kind of like those quilts that grandmas make, pieces put
Yes,
together.
definitely.
Lovely. And what are you working on? Do we get a sneak peek of what you're working on next?
Not really, but it's a spiritually motivated one because with the first book, Louisa, I had went to my daughter's school to read the book, and
Hmm.
the children said, "Well, when is the next one? Are you going to do another one?" So it was kind of inspired to start doing another one, which I did start doing, but then I had a spirit nudge me to say, "You know
Mm,
what? You need to do a spirit-filled book now." So
I
I
think
held
so.
off on this one. And my daughter at that present moment had decided to become baptized. So that
Right.
inspired my present book. But I wouldn't tell
Nice.
too much because
Okay.
that will soon be out. And I want everyone to read it and love it and enjoy it and be surprised by it. So can't
Mhm.
give too much.
True. But that is so precious. I love that you're using your real life experiences to put it into writing and express yourself in that way. But your covers are also gorgeous.
Oh, thank
So
you. Thank you.
kudos.
I really owe that to Mrs. Maria Akram. She was my
Shout
illustrator
out to
at the time.
Maria.
Yes.
Very nice. Wonderful. And I noticed on your YouTube channel, you've been doing a lot of motivational morning messages. I love those. So we'll share that link with you all in the description box for Mrs. Echols. And
Thank
what
you.
you're welcome. But what especially inspired you to wake up and share a message with the world each morning?
Honestly, I really think that was God because I am shy. I'm really
Oh, yeah,
shy.
yeah.
And I had started a little something back last year, I believe it was, or the year before, a little something on YouTube. And
Uh-huh.
I was drawn in by self care and finding me time. And, me myself was now beginning to find myself in me time, getting myself out there and also getting myself finding that time to spend with self, with
Mm.
me. So I
Hmm.
said, you know what? Let me share this that it is important, very important to find time for yourself,
Yes.
and getting into self-care is important because it's not only getting the hair done and the nails done, but it's mental care, it's
Hmm.
physical care. But that one was finding time for self. And from there, this year, I was nudged. I said to God, I really want to be able to reach others. And he said, why not use your platform you started? And I was
Amen to
like,
that.
really?
Hello.
I didn't know about that. And then one day stuff started coming to me, even through my
Good.
journaling. So I started, just giving the message that was pressed on my spirit at the time. Whatever's pressed there, or I hear people going through, that's what I put forth.
Amen to that. I'm glad you got past your shyness because while I'm waiting for class to
No,
start, we can't tell.
I don't know if I'm
But while I'm waiting for my classes to start, I'll just catch one of your videos in the morning. And it's like you're right here in
Oh,
my
that's
office
sweet.
talking
Oh,
to me.
that's sweet. I didn't know that, but that's nice.
I know I got to hit that like, subscribe, comment and all that good stuff. And then my student shows up, and I forget what I was doing. But I
Thank,
love it. I really do.
thank
And
you for that support.
you're welcome. But you're so right. It's more than just the hair and the nails and the whatnot. Of course, that's part of it
Oh,
too.
that's part of it.
But the
Hmm.
inner work is where it starts.
Definitely.
And so I think your book is going to embrace everything that you've been doing so far. And now that your daughter is a part of it, that's going to make it even more special. So we
Yes.
can't wait. Thank you, Miss Andrea. So, do
Thank
you have,
you.
you're welcome, a final message for our viewers?
Get out there and get my books. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. That's not the final message. I would just say for anyone writing or sitting on it and thinking about doing it, just do it. Find your purpose behind that book. It might become your passion. You never know. Start your writing and put it out there. Brainstorm, research some good illustrators. You can use 5 Year or you can use your own personal pick, but get out there and put it out there because it might touch someone in a way that you never knew it would. And for those people who are just thinking it might not. What if it does? What if it
Hmm.
does? It could be a self-help book, it could be a book that entertains someone and make them laugh. We need that today. We're in a world that is just full of hopelessness these days. Hopeless people. And your book could inspire that person, or your story about illness or whatever it may be might touch someone and make them seek for help that they ordinarily would not go seeking for. So definitely get out there and write your book. Also, definitely help to motivate your children to save by getting my book. And check out the Blended Families book as well, because you could find your story there.
I love it. What a great message. And yes, your books are definitely on the agenda. I haven't even ordered my own books. Side note.
Okay, so you know what to do.
I sure do. So I'm so happy to have you on the West Indian Women Network, sharing your books, sharing your work. And I do hope you join us for our next authors event and you can
Thank you.
share more about
Oh,
everything.
thank you so much. Thank
You're
you. And
most
hi, West
welcome.
Indian Day, women. We're up next with the Women's Day in March. So this would be a great time for them to come out and share indeed. So thank you. Thank you for having me, Mrs. Ramcharan. This was fun. I enjoyed it.
Awesome. You are welcome. Come back anytime and I will see you soon.
Okay, see
Say
you soon.
bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.